Hi, welcome to the Engage 2 YouTube channel. My name's Amelia Loye. I'm the Managing Director of Engage 2, and today I'm very happy to have with me Brittany Brusasco. Brittany is the Senior Account Manager of Consultation Manager. Brittany, welcome. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks so much. It's great to be here.
So you're a Consultation Manager. I first met Consultation Manager in 2005 when I was looking in the very, very early days of looking for technology to support my engagement. And for me, it was about, at that time, it was really about managing information that was coming through from stakeholders through our engagement processes, but also tracking our communications with stakeholders, all the emails to and from them, and really trying to get a picture of our relationship with the stakeholders. Tell me a little bit about Consultation Manager. They've come a long way since 2005, and I hear you've been with the company for about 10 months. Why did you join the company? And tell me a little bit about the product and what really attracted you to the organization.
Yeah, definitely. I'll probably talk a little bit about the product to begin with. So as you've kind of captured there, it's a cloud-based stakeholder engagement database. So it allows you to record, track, and manage your stakeholder relationships and interactions, as well as report on that activity across projects and over time. We've probably come a little way since you first encountered it, and we are at the moment talking to lots of our clients and others about our new version. So that version is actually highly configurable. It gives you the capability to capture and analyze custom attributes of your stakeholders and your interactions, as well as lots more. So the kind of guiding principle in developing that version has been easy data in. So that includes things like building in automation around email logging and more flexible imports. In those ways, CM enables you to focus on your engagement rather than distract from it. Our clients are kind of all levels of government, government agencies, consultants, not-for-profit organisations, and the private sector. So it's kind of the full spectrum there. And their projects are incredibly varied, but they include infrastructure, energy, health, education. As a senior account manager within our customer success team, I actually work with new and existing clients to scope customizations to their systems, build out their framework, and train their users. At every step, we're considering your unique requirements and existing data as we help you move from spreadsheets to complete relational database. We're really hands-on at CM. So after that initial onboarding process, we're also along for the ride as your projects and reporting requirements develop and become more complex. And our whole team is available to field support inquiries from system users. We're constantly striving for great client experiences at CM. So that actually looks like, problem solving and critical thinking, and understanding unique organizational challenges. And through all of that, we have the opportunity to build great relationships with our clients.
That's great, Brittany. It sounds like you've got a really diverse group of people that you're working with and project needs as well. And since 2005, that's 15 years, my goodness. So I understand you're on to version 4 of the product and that there was a big release last year. How's that gone for the industry? Like, what's been the big point of difference? And, what was the motivator for updating the product in that way?
Yeah, absolutely. So CM4, as I said, that kind of easy data in, it kind of has encompassed a number of new technologies that weren't available to us in CM3. And the big driver for going to a whole new version is that a lot of those things we couldn't build in. That real unique difference particularly between CM3 and CM4 is that level of customization that's available. As I said, tracking unique attributes and going as far as to track a custom entity. So something like being able to add a complaint record as opposed to an event record, and really improve your reporting in that way, so you're not skewing it with the 5 events that contributed towards resolving one complaint.
Great. Oh, it sounds like the product's been on a long journey and that you've got some really amazing, diverse customers there. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts about where you think the industry is going. But before we get there, what are you, let's go a bit philosophical. What are your thoughts about the role of technology and engagement? There's been varied viewpoints in the industry. over time about, whether or not it's just about online engagement, or can technology actually support offline engagement and make it more effective? And of course, because of COVID, we're now in a situation where we've all got to be using technology for engagement. What do you think is the role of technology and engagement? And is it just online, or what? Consultation Manager's got a very unique point of difference in the market there.
That's it. So, I mean, there's no doubt that it has an increasingly critical role in engagement. But, of course, we would say that. But it's truly a central theme in the challenges that our clients approach us with. We often refer to CM as a central source of truth for our clients. It's somewhere that you can compare and contrast insights from other online tools with those that you've gathered through face-to-face and other interactions. So a database like CM allows you to bring all of that data into a homogeneous reporting framework for that purpose. And that might look like having multiple teams within your organisation contributing, using CM to inform your stakeholders, integrating front-end tools like Social Pinpoint, or even giving your stakeholders the capacity to input their own data directly via a web form. So while you might be using a variety of tools across the spectrum, a system like CM kind of underpins all that as you use it to manage your stakeholder relationships and issues. Of course, a lot of those methods are only effective with a kind of considered strategy in place to drive stakeholders towards participation. So it's not simply build it and they will come. Tech is, I think, there to enable, to help you reach broader and deeper audiences. And we're witnessing this huge and now more than ever accelerated shift to technology-driven engagement, but I don't think it can ever replace that human element.
No, but as you said before, you mentioned events and easy data into the system.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Consultation Manager has some really great features of being able to take tech out to the community if you are door knocking, or you're facilitating a meeting and you need to take notes from the meeting. I understand that they're the kinds of records of events that you can be putting into the system pretty easily, even when you're engaging offline these days too, right?
Yeah, that's right. Well, with CM4, you actually have the capacity to access that one via mobile. So pretty much everyone's on smartphones these days, and it's as simple now as popping into your browser on your smartphone and logging into CM.
Good. No phone apps.
Oh yeah, and that's exactly right. So CM3 has the app, and obviously for us that represents an element of maintenance, depending on what different operating systems people's phones are on. But with that browser approach, the version basically prioritizes the things you use in the field, so you can quickly find a stakeholder's information, clicking on their number to contact them, and using even the voice to text in your phone to add some notes after that and save that one as an interaction.
Great. So it can really help you keep records of every single type of engagement, but it can also facilitate engagement by the sounds of things, by allowing you to pull up a history of a stakeholder, get an understanding of a conversation and the issues that they've been raising, as you say, also their contact details, and pick up the phone and engage with them. So it's not just about online engagement, Consultation Manager. It really fleshes out kind of the full sort of service of doing an engagement, collecting data, analysing that data, and managing the relationship with the stakeholder as well, isn't it? It's really good.
That's exactly right. And, recently to CM4, we've introduced the SMS feature as well. So, that might be used to inform, and we will shortly have on CM4 e-news as well. So you'll be able to send email campaigns from the tool.
Ah, nice. I can see why you guys upgraded. That sounds like...
Yeah, that's it.
I love the text feature because, of course, that's only going to increase your reach beyond your existing stakeholders that you've got coming through your online engagement systems as well. So sometimes people don't see those e-newsletters in their inbox, or they don't come to the website for updates. That's a great... So COVID, Brittany, we've a little bit about the diversity of kinds of stakeholders, or kinds of project teams that you're working with, and the kinds of projects and different engagement needs. What have you learned about COVID from, your customers, and how are they using technology? How is, COVID and the use of technology in engagement changing the engagement practice?
Yeah, so I would definitely say that COVID's impact on engagement, like so many areas of work and life, from my perspective at least, it's been completely catalytic. COVID's accelerated change. So I think wherever we saw it going, it's headed there a little bit faster now. So we've seen the pandemic force adoption of things that previously we might have considered quite futuristic. So I'm thinking of things like cashless transactions, accelerated legislation around telehealth, and the number of downloads of what is effectively a tracking app. We're more than likely, I don't think, aware of all of the effects just yet, but there doesn't really seem to be any area or industry that's gone untouched. Almost instantly, as workplaces dispersed and restrictions came into effect, we saw increased demand for online tools. So CM specifically had clients reaching out for assistance in implementing COVID reaction projects into their system, as well as a jump in the level of inquiry, particularly for our sister product, Social Pinpoint. So as you would know, they offer interactive mapping, virtual town halls now as well, and other front-end engagement tools. So I think we're kind of living in this incredibly interconnected world, and the social media generation's now more informed in relation to global issues. We see that in the content that they're posting, their interest in topics that have previously been quite removed from their experience. And we can even digitally sign an overseas petition now. So I'm obviously looking forward, I think, to sort of seeing the practice of engagement trend towards those online tools, where we can enable forums to take place without geographic or temporal limits. I think the challenge will lie in maintaining that healthy human dialogue and ensuring that key voices aren't lost. That was actually one of the kind of key challenges that was highlighted by participants in our recent roundtable webinars. So this is kind of information that we sought from our clients. They told us that COVID had awakened the silent majority. So perhaps because more people who typically wouldn't make time for public participation had time on their hands. Conversely, participants raised concerns that online methods exclude key parts of their community. So that includes older generations, those in rural areas with poor internet, and other remote communities. But the kind of key takeaway that we found was that we're kind of all focused on maintaining the human connection, which is so important when it comes to community and stakeholder engagement.
So true, so true. I hope some of those texting techniques also really help you get broader reach as well. Get more people.
Yeah, well, definitely. So that was actually an aspect of our development that we accelerated in response to the pandemic as well. Likewise for Social Pinpoint, those virtual town halls. So kind of as soon as everything hit, as a team, we sat down and went, what tools are really going to help our clients here, and what is it that we need to bring forward in terms of priority.
Great. Yeah, I think a big part of the challenge is getting people's attention, and because everybody's so busy, and when they're online, they're so busy even, and going to, there's so many things to choose from. So I think being able to get people's attention by text and drive them back to, our virtual town hall or a different kind of engagement, or alert them to the opportunity to become engaged, I think is a really nice addition to the suite there. Yeah.
And that is always going to be that kind of, human and traditional comms element in driving traffic to those online tools. So, yeah.
Definitely. The more we're at home as well, the more important using those, sort of being savvy about the way we approach those marketing and communications of engagement is going to be so critical. What are your thoughts about representative democracy? Like, this is always it's always a big challenge in the engagement space. Like, engagement plays such a critical role between elections in gathering input and informing governments about community sentiment and community issues. And you guys have a great product to help you, analyze that input and have a better understanding of stakeholders and issues, and how many people have been engaged and how representative the types of people are that have been engaged. What are your thoughts about the role of engagement technology and consultation manager in a representative democracy?
Yeah, so I would say that, engagement and public participation are absolutely critical in representative democracy. The core role of our elected officials, in my mind, is to advocate for the best interests of their constituents. I'd like to think that our electoral processes aren't set and forget for the next few years, and that a continuous process of consultation is realistic. I'm absolutely not a political expert, but 5 minutes spent looking at the news reveals that at this particular moment, people around the world want their voices heard more than ever. And seeing collective action like that tells me that individuals don't necessarily feel adequately represented by the current systems. I think in order to ensure their relevance, public officials will, more and more need to effectively capture, track and act on public opinion. And there needs to be a clear connection between the data that they've collected and the action that's being taken. I actually kind of, in thinking about this, liken it to my role as an account manager, in that my responsibility is to act as an advocate for my clients. That might look like muscling my way into a design session with our developers to ensure that we're appropriately addressing my clients' needs, or even simply taking the time to listen to their strategic challenges. Data assists me no end in that respect, and while anecdotes provide me with insight, the numbers lend weight to action. Coming, kind of back around again to that role of tech and all that, I really believe that technology and data help equalize the influence of different stakeholders, so that regardless of how vocal one group might be, others can still be heard.
Brittany, that was such a great answer. Thank you so much for your time and thoughts today. It's really wonderful to meet you.
Oh, that's a pleasure. Thanks so much for having me, Amelia.
My pleasure too. So if you want to learn more about Consultation Manager, go to consultationmanager.com. They're one of the sponsors at the Engage Tech Forum. So come and join Brittany and I on the 28th of July for a virtual event where we promise to do some show and play of the Consultation Manager system. And you can find out more about that event on engage2.com.au. My name's Amelia. Thanks so much for joining us today.